is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. A look at your 2024 Philadelphia Flyers from blue line to blue line. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Hand and Stone Spa, Fogo de Chão, The Capitol Grill, Chickies and Pete's, Independence Blue Cross, and Payroll Service Solutions. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Now, here are your hosts, Marc Farzetta and former Flyers goaltending great Bernie Parent.
Oh, my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, Chickies and Pete's, Northeast Philadelphia.
Excuse me, with the introduction, you could use more words, you know? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone knows the man to my right on the screen here, people watching on YouTube and listening on 1490 WBCB. The man to my right, your left, the great two-time Stanley Cup champion, Bernie Parent. There they are. Bernie, I have had the fortune of interviewing you many times, getting to know you, of course, over the course of my career, and it's been such a great pleasure and such a great honor. I love when you walk into an event, though, and you have the rings coming out, and you're just touching everybody, almost like, you just want to give them the good vibes of the Stanley Cup championship rings.
You know what? We're one big family, so let's share the enthusiasm of winning the cup. Yep.
It's hard for you not to share your enthusiasm, and we were talking before the show, and I don't know if this story's out yet or not, but you actually, and it's funny because a lot of people talk about Jason Kelce in this city, and I really think that you and Jason Kelce have a very similar vibe about you. Like, you guys are always about the good time, you guys are always about the good vibes, and wherever you go, people are just smiling all around you.
Well, sometimes I wonder if they're smiling or laughing at me, the way I played, But I would think they're smiling, yeah.
No, right. Of course.
Yeah.
Because you spread the good vibes. Now, it's a Thanksgiving night. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Tonight is the biggest party night of the year, they say. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving is the biggest party night of the year. I get to party with you tonight. We get to party with all of Northeast Philadelphia. Northeast Philadelphia is such a special place in my heart. Because for whatever reason, in college, I grew up in Doylestown. I'm originally from Ambler. But in college at Temple University, all my closest friends were all Northeast Philadelphia kids. Wow. So being back up here is a good thing for me. Sitting next to you is an awesome thing. We're going to talk about with the biggest party night of the year and all that. We're going to go through the next hour, breaking down the Flyers, of course. I want to focus on the Flyers' mindset and really what their inspiration has been this season, because you're talking about a team that after winning their opener dropped the next 5 games and then now seem to be, even though they just blew a 3-goal lead, unfortunately, against the Golden Knights, they seem to be turning the corner a little bit to a team that could give us some inspiration as the season goes on. And I said at the start of the season, Bernie, I don't know what your take on the team was, but my take on the team was this is going to be a second-half team. They're getting used to a lot of new pieces. They're a young team. They have Matvei Mishkov that has a lot of pressure on him as a 19-year-old looking to lead this team. But they're going to be a second-half team. And it turns out they might be a little bit better than that even before the second half of the season begins. So I've been impressed with what I've seen so far from the Flyers. But what I want to focus on with you tonight is mindset and mentality of this young hockey team, especially talking about 2 young netminders. If you could give them some advice, I want to talk about that. What advice would you give the young netminders with Ursan being on the shelf right now? And then I also want to talk to you about this. Again, with it being the biggest party night of the year, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, you're a man for all seasons. You love it between the pipes.
Yep.
You love being on the water, love being on the boat, love fishing, love all that stuff. You're a man for all seasons. Anyone in history, you can pick anyone in history, and we'll go through the night, maybe 5 guys that you would like to maybe have a drink with.
Well, number one, I don't drink anymore.
Okay.
So it's been 47 years, folks. Think about this.
There you go.
But, to socialize with, you know what, it's not one person. When I look back at our team, okay, especially those 2 years and before and after, the way we socialize as a team, we were one big family. I share this with people because I'm a firm believer if you want to succeed in life, you have to be part of a team. A good team is very important. Nobody succeeds on their own. There's always a team involved, behind. And when you look at the, our team, when we won the 2 Stanley Cup, we had Clarkey, for the captain. It was incredible. They had great players. We had a great goalie, by the way.
I've heard about him.
Yeah, and we had, we had a great team, and we had a great fans. The place was packed all the time, and you feed on stuff like this, And when I look back, you know what? It's funny we talk about this. When I look back, it looks like it happened last year. That's how great it was, winning the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely amazing. When you look at this team, Bernie, to get into it, when you talk about mindset, you talk about mentality of a hockey team. John Tortorella is quick to bench, and he's quick to call out. It's never, I think, too egregious most of the time in the early goings of it. But you look at a situation that came up with Scotty Lawton the other night, 2 weeks ago, where he talked about, hey, we can't turn the puck over tonight. We got to be responsible with the puck. We got to play heads-up hockey, that type of thing. First shift, he turns the puck over. Next thing you know, he's sitting on the bench. So when he's preaching something, he really means it. How, as a player, do you take on a coach like that you know is going to be dissecting every little thing while you're out there on the ice? How do you not grip the stick too tight as a player? How do you not play nervous?
Well, the one thing you have to understand, too, as a player, as I mentioned this, and we'll mention quite a few more times tonight, you mentioned the coach, mentioned the players, and it's a team effort. So if you're one of those players that is not performing right at that time, he needs to be approached and discuss what's going on. Because if you don't play as a team, you're not going to win. Nothing's going to happen. So it's important to bring them back, and the coach is good that way.
All right, now, we're talking about a couple of young netminders. Coley's going to be in the net tonight with the Flyers taking on the Nashville Predators, looking to bounce back from that loss they had against the Golden Knights in the shootout. When you're talking about young netminders, Coley, you're also talking about Fedotov as well. These are guys trying to find their way in the NHL and take advantage of an opportunity that's being put in front of them right now without them having Urson in net. So when you look at young netminders, what advice would you give those guys to try to have the most success right now and take advantage of the opportunity they have?
Well, what I would do, first of all, thank God I played when I played, because we'll talk about the equipment later on. But it's very important to communicate with your defenseman, number one. And people may say, what do you mean communication? Is if a player comes down and communication with your defenseman, like I said, a player comes down, it's a right-hand shot. My approach would be, for the defenseman, play the man. So if it's a right-hand shot, the opening will be on the glove side. If it's a left-hand shot, the opening will be on the stick side. That communication is very important for the defense and the goalies to understand, because this is where your anticipation is going to be. You don't commit yourself 100%, but a good 75%, because this is where the opening is, and if the guy decides to take a shot, this is where he's going to go, not when there's somebody in front of him.
Now, what about failure? Because a lot of people, obviously, just coming up, they might have that fear of failure. But what they're not focusing on is the opportunity. If you have some struggles in the early goings, how do you get over that as a young player?
Well, I think it's all communication, with your defensemen. I'm saying defensemen because they're the ones in front of the net all the time. But a communication defenseman is, you have to ask questions, and you have to share how you feel about different situation. And once you understand defense and the goalie, and once you understand what your goalie is going to do behind you, a one-on-one, right-hand shot, left-hand shot, it helps him to concentrate, make the move on that player, and the goalie at the same time, his anticipation where the shot's going to be is real clear. If it's a right-hand shot, the left-hand shot.
Now, one of the things I've always just respected so much about you, and I remember meeting you for the first time when I was 21 years old, and I was working as an intern.
I was 22.
You were just a year. Exactly. It's amazing. I look older than you now, which is odd, which also is unfair. But when you go back to, I remember meeting you, and you had just written a book, and you put it out there, and it was all about how to go through life with the right attitude and the right mindset and all that. These guys getting their opportunity, as we were just discussing. When you talk about dealing with that failure, though, they're going to have struggles. you're going to be up 3-0 like you were against the Golden Knights. Then all of a sudden that's going to be gone in an instant. We just heard it in the football world. Jalen Hurts talk about how momentum is the fakest thing out there because it could change in an instant. 1 minute you're the hottest goaltender out there. The next minute you're letting everything between the pipes. Your 5-hole is a mile wide, and all of a sudden you're letting everything in there. When you go through struggles like that, especially in a moment like this, how do you deal with that, though? How do you approach that with the right mindset?
Well, like I said, too, it's important if if you don't have a chance during the game to communicate with your guys, which is very difficult to do, during the game. What's more important is the next day in practice, because this is only one game, okay? So if it doesn't work out, let's say you lose the game, okay? You lost the game, it's one game. But what do we do the next day in practice to overcome the mistake that we made? Not we, I'm saying we, not that I made, but we, goalie, defenseman, and forward. And once you understand and you have good communication, your reaction is quicker on the ice, and it really helps the team to concentrate on the right thing, because by doing this, what your goaltender is thinking and anticipating.
Now, all right, that's going to bring us to our smart stat of the week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. We talk about gripping the stick a little too tight. And by the way, yes, it is time for our smart stat of the week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. Here's the stat. Joel Farabee, of course, has gotten some criticism as of late. 16 shots on goal over the last 5 games for the Flyers. Just 1 point to show for it so far. You could say it's gripping the stick, but, man, when you talk about a guy at least being aggressive, how many times a guy can try his best, unfortunately come up empty, go after it again, and just keep on trying? I mean, the old saying is, at first you don't succeed, try again. Joel Farabee is a guy that is trying continuously for this Flyers organization, and unfortunately, he hasn't really bore a lot of fruit for this Flyers team. When you talk about a guy that just keeps that mentality, though, how important is it to just not get deterred and keep going after the prize?
Oh, it's important. Number one, realize too that you're a team, okay? And I keep going back to this, which is so important. Just like the world of business, you're not just one individual. You're one individual that is part of a good team or a great team, and then you succeed by working as a team. It's very important. And communication is very important too. And I don't know, I haven't been in the dressing room, but you know what the good thing is, when you're practicing, you talk about this in the dressing room and talk to the coach and say, hey, coach, this is what we want to work on, and start working. And then you see the players reacting differently, and then you get in the game, and then you bring success by good communication.
All right, now we're about to hit our first break of the show here, so I do want to ask you, all right, somebody to hang with, we'll call it like that. Somebody, the biggest part of the night of the year, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, anyone in history, Bernie Perron, a man for all seasons, can hang with. Who do you want to hang with on a night like tonight?
Where is she?
Are you looking for your wife?
I'm looking for my wife.
Wow, what a good answer! She's sitting behind you over your right shoulder.
I heard her voice. Yeah, they. You know what? It's the same thing. Life is just like in sports. It's all team effort. You're part of a good team. You have fun. You enjoy. Let's say you make some things not going well. Then you could sit down with good friends and talk about it, and maybe I may say something that may help you to change directions or something, and succeed again.
Fair enough. You're a seasoned veteran. That's what you are. You're a veteran husband. That's what you are. Yeah. By the way, I do have to tell you, the smart stat of the week, once again, was brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Payroll Service Solutions, catering to the small and medium-sized business to handle all your payroll needs. Call them once again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. When we come back, our man Bernie Perron had a fairly recent brush-in with a another member of Philadelphia sports royalty, and that's Jason Kelsey. You guys had a pretty great interaction. I know you were putting it out there on social media as well. We'll talk about that. That's when we return. This is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, live from Chickies and Pete's, Northeast Philadelphia. Back in a second.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. The holiday entertaining season is back, and there's no better place for holiday cheer than Chickie and Pete's with a nice cold beer. Book your holiday party right now. We have open bar specials and an unbeatable all-you-can-eat menu. It includes our world-famous crab fries, delectable Chickie's boneless wings, tasty tenders, and our piping hot traditional pizza. Or let us bring the holiday cheer to your place with an unforgettable visit from our Chickie and Pete's Crab Fry Express food truck. We've got you covered this holiday season at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions. With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pantheon Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at pantheonbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Marc Farzetta and former Flyers goaltending great Bernie Parent.
Yes.
Welcome back,
Yes.
Chickies and Pete's, Northeast Philadelphia, right on the boulevard. Biggest party night of the year, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and this is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. And you can listen right here from Chickies and Pete's on 1490 WBCB, also 107.3 FM, and check us out live on YouTube, WBCB Sports. We appreciate the people joining us on YouTube as well. All right, so, Bernie, you had a recent run-in with other sports royalty in Philadelphia. I still put you on that Mount Rushmore. A man that could be next to you is Jason Kelsey. Now, you guys had an autograph signing recently, and you guys hit it off a little bit, I understand.
Oh, yeah, good man. Before we go on, I have to help somebody. He's chasing turkey, so I got to catch it. No, but they
you are helping everyone. For real quick, you are helping everyone here.
Yeah.
People during the first break, even before we started, people already just coming up to Bernie, as you would assume, and just wanted to tell him that he's the best, and he is. Wanted to tell him how much they enjoyed watching him play, and really even after your playing career, just enjoyed your presence still very much being a part of the Philadelphia sports scene.
Well, you're so kind. Thank you. I will never forget, I'm showing the people, those 2 rings and winning and be grateful. Not forget, but be grateful I was part of the great team, and then we ended up winning 2 championships, so, but it was a moment, and we talk about this, it's like it happened last year. You know what, it's so great, it was so incredible. Mm-hmm. And you know what was nice, quickly, folks, when we had the first parade, on Broad Street, and and we had 2 million people waving. You know, you look at this and, hey, is this real? You know, just a, you know, the word I like to use is all the time, especially when we talk about this, is being grateful, you know. And good old Lord put me in the right place at the right time, and it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it great?
Yeah,
Yep.
We still in Philadelphia thank the good Lord that he put you in Philadelphia. Now, this autograph signing with Jason Kelce, you guys, as I was saying, you guys hit it off a little bit, and I think you even put out there on social media a picture of him holding your style goalie mask, and you're holding his, actually, Philadelphia Eagles Kelly Green helmet.
Yeah, I told him, I said, my God, I would have played a few more years if I had that helmet on. You know, but he, you know, it's funny because we walked in, he was doing a promotion, signing promotion, and walked in with my wife and you know, tapping on the shoulders. He turned around. He said, "Oh my God," you know. So he got up, gave me a big hug, right? And then we brought a T-shirt with the picture of the mask on it, right? And he took his off, right? And put the jersey, yeah, the shirt on. That was incredible.
Okay, you meet Jason Kelce. He's obviously excited to see you, meet you. You gave him one of the, I think the shirt said Bernie on it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Bernie.
yeah.
So Channing Bernie, and you give him the shirt, and he immediately takes off his own shirt, is
Yeah.
what you're telling me here.
Yeah.
And he puts yours on.
And he put mine on. And first time he got booed. Yeah.
But the approach to life that you both have, and really the approach to your craft and being so dedicated. I mean, look, we all know the history. Flyer, not a Flyer, come back to the Flyers, best ever, is the way it went for you. But you always kept the right attitude about it, and you always just attacked any problem that you had when you were playing, the few that you had. But when you did, you attacked it so that you would come out on the other side. You can also talk about a guy like Jason Kelce, who go into the 2017 season, a lot of people, 2017 season, people wanted, all right, maybe he's not going to be good here anymore, maybe he's done, maybe he's cooked, and the next thing you know, he turns into high gear. Didn't go away, but certainly wasn't playing his best, and then all of a sudden turned himself into a Hall of Fame player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
You know, great. First time I met him, by the way, you know, great player, but also I appreciate the greatness as a human being. You know, great individual. And when he put the jersey on, I said, "My God, my jersey." The value went down, you know. But that's all right. Yeah, he's a good guy, though. Yeah. I love him. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
certainly. I want to make sure that we were talking about something fun here in the whole Jason Kelce experience that you had there. But this Flyers team right now, I'm just having a lot of fun watching, and it's been a while since I've been able to say that with honesty. Mm-hmm. I'm watching a guy like Travis Konechny take on even more of a leadership role. And true, that role has been growing ever since the Flyers moved on from Claude Giroux as the team captain, and obviously now having Sean Couturier. But watching Travis Konechny is like watching a kid come out of the stands and play. And I heard John Tortorella, after the Flyers were able to win in overtime against the Blackhawks Saturday, I heard him talk about how, like, basically why more people aren't talking about Travis Konechny's play this year. And you're seeing him step even more so into that leadership role. You're seeing the production there from him as well. And you're seeing a guy that I think, not that I thought Claude Giroux was ever a guy holding him back, but when you're being asked to do more when a leader moves on, I think that only allows you to grow. And it puts an opportunity there at your skates. And it says, all right, now you're either going to develop, and we're going to see even more from you as a mature hockey player. We're going to see more production from you, hopefully, as well. But we'll also see you grow into that role of a leader on this team. And I have seen him not just do that on the ice individually, but I've seen that especially on the power play. And there's no better example than the game-winning goal, him to Matvei Mishkov there against the Blackhawks, where you see that type of chemistry developing on the ice between the two players. So leadership and production, what could be better than that? Oh, and fun when it comes to TK's game.
Well, you know what, I like to refer to what you just said is just fantastic. And this is why they have a great team, and they're going to do well this year. You know, I want to touch a little bit on the coach.
Okay.
You know, and you mentioned his name quite a few times, and he has good communication with the players, you know, and it's like it would be like me working with the goalies. You know, you respect the things they're doing well, but at the same time, to get better, you have to bring the things aren't going so well. So you could communicate, have a good communication, a good vision of what should be changed, and then you become a better team player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How important is it? Because I hear a lot from players about John Tortorella where coaches like him, and there's few like him nowadays, but coaches like him very rarely are breaking the news in the press conference. They're not. If he thinks you played bad, you're not hearing it for the first time from a press conference. He has already told you many times over, and usually not in a whisper. He's usually telling you at a pretty loud volume. So how important is it for a coach to have that kind of honesty with his players, but also be honest with the fans and the media as well?
Well, you know what? It's important because I keep referring to this all the time, but John is part of the team.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's a team thing, you know, so your constructive criticism is always welcome. I remember when I played, and quickly here, when what changed my career was when I got traded from the Flyers to Toronto, okay? And I was disappointed. I had tears in my eyes driving up to Toronto, right? And when I got there, I got in the dressing room. I realized, my God, I'm putting my equipment on next to Jacques Plante, famous goalie in Montreal, one of the best.
Who you grew up admiring.
Yes, oh yeah, all my life, sure. And I watched him play a couple of times. Yeah, we practiced, and finally, after a week, 2 weeks now, I asked him, I said, Jacques, can you teach me? And he looked at, because his sister lived next door to us in Montreal. And I'll come back to the teaching here. But I remember during the summer, we stopped by his sister's house. She lived next door. A big convertible, right? Cowboy hat, walk around with a cigar. And my God, I said, I was in the window, kitchen window, shaking, you know, just watching him. There I was sharing duties with him and learning how to play goal.
That's
awesome.
That's incredible. When it does come to the teaching moments with John Tortorella, though, when you talk about that communication, obviously between players, you were talking about it in the opening segment regarding the communication between a goalie and his defenseman. How important is it when you talk about the coach to the rest of the team, especially a team that started out the season struggling mightily and then all of a sudden finds themselves 9-10-3 overall in the season?
Well, that's good coaching. You know, that's good coaching. And the players allowed him to come across with what he believes in, you know. And that's why, you know, when you're in the dressing room and you're communicating with the players, the forward, defensemen, and the goalies, I love him. You know, he's a great coach. And I hope we bring the Stanley Cup back in Philly where it belongs.
Look, it's early, not just in the season, but it's also early for a lot of the players on the team that are young. Mm-hmm. What do you see as the trajectory for a team like this? Like, what are the realistic expectations for this year's team? Because I'll be honest, as much as I love the Flyers, I don't see the Stanley Cup this year. But maybe down the line, you see the development of these players. Matvei Mishkov, who is just coming into his own as a 19-year-old player, just getting into the United States. We're not even sure, 6 months ago, whether or not he was going to even be here playing this year. But here he is. He seems to be really getting used to it now. We mentioned the communication and the chemistry between him and Travis Konechny. Also the open honesty between John Tortorella and he when it comes to the benching earlier in the season. What do you see as the trajectory of this Flyers team to truly compete for a Stanley Cup?
I think it's very good. Very good because, again, they have good communication among the players. You know, by just what you said, you know, it doesn't happen by being quiet, you know, and you have to communicate all the time. That's what we did when we won the 2 Stanley Cup, you know. And I used to tell the players, the defensemen, you take care of Bobby Orr and I'll take care of the rest of the team.
That's all you had to do? You just take care of Bobby Orr. That guy, number 4, skating around like crazy.
I have a little quick story about this. The first game we won the Stanley Cup at the Spectrum, okay? There's a face-off in Boston, and there's 10 seconds left in the game. We're winning 1-0, and we win the Stanley Cup. So the referee drops the puck, right? A true story. And after he dropped the puck, I didn't realize the puck went to Bobby Orr. And he shoots it down the ice, and I'm looking at the clock at the same time. I wouldn't be here today. Well, you missed the net by about this much. I heard it hit the board behind me and said, "Thank you, Lord."
He was off his game that night, apparently. He was up by a little bit there, Bern. A little bit. That's hilarious, man. And you talk about some of the great successes of this team. I want to touch on it a little bit more because I want to focus on a guy that we've only mentioned a couple times, and that is Matvei Mishkov. And not only is he a young player trying to find his way in the NHL, he's a young player trying to find his way in the city of Philadelphia as a Russian, as a guy who's not familiar with the city, a guy who hasn't really been here, and a guy that is looking to put everything together for a long, sustained, successful career in the NHL. So I want to focus on him a little bit more when we come back. This is On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross on 1490 WBCB as well as 107.3 FM WBCB. Marc Farzetta in for Paul Jolovitz, by the way. You know this man.
Excuse me a second.
Yes.
Look at this, folks. He looks like a movie star, for God's sakes. Yeah.
I can hang around you. Yeah. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? You're probably hanging out with your wife, but you feel free to come over to my place.
Chasing a turkey. I haven't caught one yet. Yeah.
The kids would love to see you. The missus would love to see you. Mm-hmm. You should just come over for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And have us all feeling better.
I'll talk to Jeannie and, we'll stop by.
There you go.
And I'll knock 3 times. You know it's me.
There you go. You come in showing the rings, of course.
Sure.
WBCB, we'll be back in a few.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. The holiday entertaining season is back, and there's no better place for holiday cheer than Chicky and Pete's with a nice cold beer. Book your holiday party right now. We have open bar specials and an unbeatable all-you-can-eat menu. It includes our world-famous crab fries, delectable Chicky's boneless wings, tasty tenders, and our piping hot traditional pizza. Or let us bring the holiday cheer to your place with an unforgettable visit from our Chicky and Pete's Crab Fry Express food truck. We've got you covered this holiday season at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Marc Farzetta and former Flyers goaltending great Bernie Parent.
Welcome back, Chickies and Pete's.
I just want to say something. This man looks like a movie star, doesn't he? This is awesome.
Yeah, bookend the break with that. We'll do it again on the next one as well. Anytime, I'm going to cut this on YouTube, and I'm going to play it back for my wife, and I'm going to say if Bernie Parent says it.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah.
You're one lucky lady.
Yeah, that's it.
As I always tell her, she definitely outkicked her coverage. Anyway, so looking at this Flyers team. By the way, welcome back in. I appreciate the kind words. To On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross, right here on 1490 WBCB, 107.3 FM, and also on YouTube for the people watching on YouTube. We appreciate you guys following us there as well on WBCB Sports Network. Be one of the many to subscribe and join us for the party here. Before we go any further, though, I do want to talk about the Independence Blue Cross Live Fearless Player of the Week. I don't know who you have in mind, Bernie. You could agree with this. You could disagree. You could tell me I'm an idiot. But I got to go with Matvei Mishkov as the Independence Blue Cross Live Fearless Player of the Week. Each week we award this honor, and for me this week it's Matvei Mishkov scoring a goal in each of the last 2 games, including the game winner, courtesy of Travis Konechny, when Matvei Mishkov was right there on the doorstep against the Blackhawks, and he buried it in the back of the net. Remember to choose Independence Blue Cross today and begin to live fearless. How impressed with you?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You talk about a guy that brings it on the ice.
You know what?
It certainly does.
It's a combination of being an athlete, being smart, and being a team player, and all those beautiful things. That's how you reach and you become a leader when you're that way, and then the team surround themselves around you, and that's what brings a good outcome.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, with tomorrow being Thanksgiving, I want you to let the people know, not right now, but you can think about it. What does Bernie Parent look forward to the most on the Thanksgiving table? Are you a turkey guy? Are you a stuffing guy? Mashed potatoes guy, sweet potatoes guy, cranberry, whatever it might be. What do you look forward to the most? I'll ask you that. We can get into it now if you want.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
get into it now. What was Bernie Parent? What is Bernie Parent skating to the table for right away?
I look, I feel bad for the poor turkey. I'm looking at a wooden turkey.
A wooden turkey?
Yeah. So turkeys have feelings too.
Of course they do.
Yeah. So, no, but kidding aside, it's a beautiful tradition, and you know what? You could have the same turkey at different time during the season, but this is so special.
Oh, sure.
And to be part of this beautiful, exciting time, there's a lot to be grateful for.
Certainly.
And that's the thing. I just want to touch base with you quickly. Being grateful. It's so important. Be grateful to the big guy upstairs.
Certainly.
Because that's where my talent and everybody's talent came from.
Mm-hmm.
And be grateful to have 2 Stanley Cup rings. And my God, the first game we won 1-0, and second game we won 2. Second cup against Buffalo we won 2-0. But I think we scored a second goal with 2 minutes left in the game. So. To accomplish something like this, as I mentioned before, teamwork, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Teamwork.
No question. No question. I know you feel bad for the turkey, but what are you eating? What's your favorite thing on that dish?
I'm going to repeat myself. I don't know if you heard me. I feel bad for the turkey.
So the stuffing? So what, are you a stuffing guy?
No, are you kidding me? I get one leg and chew on it. Yeah.
Apologizing each time? Sorry. Rubbing your Stanley Cup ring on it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's a sight to see. Like a king. All right. Now back to Matvei Mishkov. This is going to be the hardest transition I've ever had. Back to Matvei Mishkov. We've talked about the skill and the talent. When you see him on the ice, is there anyone that he reminds you of, or is there just something in general about his game that you really like?
Well, you see a difference now with the players today and the old days. You see a lot more speed. They're what it caused by. I'm not sure, but the speed of the game is just incredible. And you know what? They because of the speed and the talent, they're able to create beautiful situations to get a goal, and to move forward. So and you know what? I've never met him, and I don't know if he speaks French, but I don't speak Russian, so that would be a great communication. Yeah. But I'd be going like this. He wouldn't understand. Yeah.
Just smiling and nodding.
Oh, yeah, sure.
One of the things I always find so amazing is people forget how young these players are. And just you got to think about even yourself at 19 years old, for instance, just trying to break through at anything. At 19 years old, most Americans are thinking about, all right, what am I going to major in college? And this guy's thinking about, my career's already here, lying here on the ice in front of me. What am I going to do with it? And also being in a new country, being in a new city and all that stuff. You have all these obstacles in front of you if you're a young player like that.
Yeah.
At what point, you have talent. Because you wouldn't be there if you didn't have talent. You wouldn't be getting the opportunity if you didn't put something on film from overseas that people saw and were drawn to. And he's obviously done that already. So if you just go out there, the most comfortable place in the world for you just has to be on the ice. But when it comes to everything else, how does a player almost realize that their talent and potential is coming to fruition? Because it seems like right now you're talking about a guy, 8 goals, 9 assists so far in the season, a game winner the other day, another goal that put him up 3-0 in that game there against Golden Knights. How does a guy, and he seems like it, really start to realize that he's pushing through to that other side, where he's not getting comfortable in a bad way, but getting comfortable to the point where he is not getting nervous on the ice?
Well, you know what? That's what you call talent. It's very, very important. I remember, I have shared this with you, my first game in National Hockey League was, I was in the farm team for the Boston Bruins. I was 20 years old. And Ed Johnson and Jerry Cheevers were the goalies then for Boston. And they got hurt at the same time, so they called me up. And my first game I played was against Chicago. In Chicago, right? And you remember Bobby Hall?
Sure, of course.
Shot the puck at 115 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And you know what? It would come across the blue line, big smile on his face, big shoulders. We became good friends. But
flat top.
Not then, yeah. And then it would wind up. I put my blocker here, my catching glove here, and I say, please, Lord, let him score. 115 miles an hour, but they had a good team. But that was my first game ever in National Hockey League.
And his son was about 110 miles per hour. It was a family trait to have a heavy slap shot.
Oh, yeah.
That's
good,
a seed.
Good players.
Absolutely. No question about it. When we've talked a lot about the communication on this team. We talked about what the end goal is, obviously, to win a Stanley Cup, and how far away are they from that right now. Talk about the mentality, talk about the coaching staff when it comes to John Tortorella and his ability to motivate these players. How difficult is it, though? We've only mentioned it. We didn't really get into it. How difficult is it when you talk about guys getting benched? And it's something that he has used, I don't want to use the term liberally, but he's not afraid to put a guy on his butt and make sure that he's riding the pine for a minute there. So as a player, there's probably nothing worse for a coach to do than that. There's no stronger message than, you know what, we're going to do this without you tonight. And any player that's gone through injury knows how tough it is to watch the team go out there and do the job without you. But if you're healthy and it's all between the ears and it's for past mistakes and the coach is telling you, yeah, go sit over there while we still try to go win without you. What do you make of it, first and foremost, a benching, and then how should a player respond to it?
I think when you look as a player, when it happens, I think you look at the coach is trying to motivate me. Okay, and then the second question is, what am I doing wrong here? And because if it keeps happening, you're not sure at the right place at the right time, you're doing the wrong thing. So again, not with the players as much, but with the coaching staff, and say, okay, I understand things weren't going well. Help me in looking at what should I do to overcome this. See, and that's part of being a team player. And then you have good communication between the coaches, and the player. And some of the players, if it's a winger, then you bring the other guys in also, sharing how they feel and what's going on, so you understand the situation, and that's when you turn things around and you start playing better.
All right. Well, before we go to break, I want to tease this, because you and we sat down maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and we had lunch. It was for a taped segment we were doing for a TV station I was working at the time, and you had said, or I'd asked you a number of questions. We probably spoke for an hour. There's one question I left out, and I missed it, not on purpose. It was my mistake. But I'm going to ask you that question when we come back because it's something that generations of Flyers fans get to benefit from on a decision you made. And we're going to get into that when we come back. This is WBCB 1490. Thank you guys for joining us here on YouTube as well. Check us out on YouTube on the ice right here on YouTube. I'm in for Paul Jolovitz. My name is Marc Farzetta. You know who this is. This is the great Bernie Perrant.
No, George. My nickname was George.
George?
Yeah.
That's George?
No.
This is On the Ice. It's presented by the wonderful people at Independence Blue Cross. We'll be back in a few.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. The holiday entertaining season is back, and there's no better place for holiday cheer than Chicky and Pete's with a nice cold beer. Book your holiday party right now. We have open bar specials and an unbeatable all-you-can-eat menu. It includes our world-famous crab fries, delectable Chicky's boneless wings, tasty tenders, and our piping hot traditional pizza. Or let us bring the holiday cheer to your place with an unforgettable visit from our Chicky and Pete's Crab Fry Express food truck. We've got you covered this holiday season at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Payroll Service Solutions was established in 2001 to cater to the payroll needs of small to medium-sized businesses. Payroll Service Solutions offers unparalleled customer service while they deliver a complete and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Once again, here are your hosts, Marc Farzetta and former Flyers goaltending great Bernie Perrant.
Yeah.
Welcome back here, 1490 WBCB 107.3 FM as well. Also on YouTube, On the Ice, presented by Independence Blue Cross. Marc Farzetta and the great Bernie Perrant. When we were going to break, I said I was going to ask you a question, and the divine intervention. Divine intervention happened, and it's literally the reason why I wanted to ask you this question, because some young kids, Emily and Eli, came up here. Hey guys, and how old are you, Emily? 13 years old. Eli, what? 11. Okay, 13 and 11 years old. This is exactly why I wanted to ask you this question. Bernie.
By the way, excuse me, before a question, they never saw me play.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Maybe the reruns. Yeah.
Well, not the reruns, but the Winter Classic at Citizens Bank Park, Flyers Rangers.
Yeah.
All right. The question I wanted to ask you, because I don't know how it happened, but I kind of remember you weren't going to play, and then all of a sudden Bernie Perrant's putting the pads back on and getting between the pipes so that a new generation can at least say, albeit it was an alumni game, but they could say they saw you put the pads on and get between the pipes again. Mm-hmm. What went into that decision, and why was it important for you to put the pads back on and play in that alumni game before the Winter Classic?
Well, it was important in a way that people wanted me to be on the ice, you know. And
you were 65? How old were you when you?
No,
70?
I think it was more like 85 or something. Yeah.
Just a spring chicken.
I had 2 blades on the skates to help my balance.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
No, but you know what? It's important to share this with people. You know, it's and then you saw those young little kids came in, and they touched the rings. Then we took a picture, with them looking at the rings. And you know what? It's one thing, it never goes away, because you can't buy these. You have to earn it. That's the beauty about these rings. Yeah.
But do you remember when somebody approached you about playing in the game and when you decided you were going to play in it?
Yeah. They asked me, and then I said, hey, why not?
You made a save, I remember.
So I went out and practiced a little bit, and the feeling that I had when I played came back. It was an incredible feeling. Yeah.
And I remember you skated off after your shift and you gave a wave to the crowd after you had a shift, and I believe you were 1 for 1 in save opportunities. I mean, not for nothing, Bernie. You were on fire that day.
Come on. Make it 20 saves or something. Yeah.
Well, they couldn't get past that defense, man.
Yeah, sure.
They couldn't get past that defense. But it was awesome. And I just remember thinking, this is great. I remember people talking about Michael Jordan coming back and playing with the Wizards. And people were saying how bad it was and they shouldn't do it. And obviously that was in the NBA and those were games and live games and all that. But another generation could say, I still got to see him play. There's more opportunity for younger people to say, I still watched him play. I know it's an alumni game, but still, seeing you put on the pads, and there's something about the sport of hockey that's different. Like, we know just to get on the ice, you've already put in work. And I don't mean practice. I don't mean all the work you did leading up to it. I mean just showing up at the arena, or in this case the stadium, putting on the pads. That ain't easy.
No.
That's work in itself.
Can I tell you quickly how I became a goalie?
Sure.
When I was, I tried for a team in Canada, in Quebec, outdoor rinks, right? And I was 12 years old. And you had to go around the rink once, right? And depending on your speed, the coach would give you a position, right? So most guys did theirs about 15, 16, 17 seconds, right? My turn came. I said, I'm going to beat him, right? I did mine in 32 seconds. The coach looked at me and said, seriously, the coach looked at me and said, goaltender. Oh, yeah, true story.
Now,
yeah.
On that note, not that I had an athletic career at all, but I remember when I was in grade school, everyone had to be on the track team. Essentially, everyone was on the track team essentially. So my coach saw me run, and he looks at me and he goes, "Shot put," just like that. That javelin, discus. You're not going to be running. Don't worry about that one. But that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Bernie, before we get out of here, we have a couple more subjects that I want to make sure we hit on. Confidence building with a team like this. We've talked about the young players, talked about Joel Farabee's struggles, unfortunately, this season. We've talked about Matvei Mishkov getting through the benching and then coming out on the other side of that and helping the Flyers get some wins. And we've also talked about a team that started out 1-5 on the season to now a team that is trying to get back to at least the 500 mark. They go up against a tough opponent tonight in the Nashville Predators. Tough in that they're in a similar boat, that they're trying to turn a corner like the Flyers. They're 7-12-3 on the season. Looks like we are going to see Coley in net tonight for the Flyers, the 8 o'clock puck drop in Nashville. When it comes to a team pushing through and kind of trusting in each other, you've talked a lot about teamwork. How long does it take, would you say, for a young team to really build up that chemistry and similarly get on a similar stretch that we've seen with Mishkov and Konechny recently?
Well, if you have a goaltender like me, it doesn't take long. No, I'm just kidding. Folks. You know what? It's all a learning process. You know what? And what I like about the team is they don't have the give up attitude. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If something doesn't work out, let's work out the problems, and then let's move forward and start winning games again.
When go ahead.
It's a great attitude to have. Yeah,
certainly. Sure. With the rest of the season, we got a long way to go, and I know Paul's going to be back in this seat next week and all that stuff with you for On the Ice. But as the season goes on, what do you want to see from this Flyers team? What do you need to see? If it's not going to be the Stanley Cup this year, if it's not a deep playoff run this year, is there anything in particular when you turn on the Flyers or go down to the games, is there anything in particular you want to see from this team to give you confidence going forward that they are going to achieve the ultimate goal of providing at least one championship parade?
Teamwork on the ice. You know, you don't win by yourself. You win as a team. And it's very, very, very important. And you could see now the players are starting to understand this because they have a great coach, too, okay? And they understand this, that they're understanding what to do in different situations. Because if you understand this as a team, let's say we're two defensemen, and I understand there's a situation that is happening inside the blue line, but I understand how you're going to put yourself in position to make it happy turn around. You know what? Then I'm acting differently, you know. And it's just matter. It's very important to understand each other in different situation. Once you do this and you have the coach practicing those situations, that's when you become a good team.
All right. I asked you earlier, biggest party night of the year. Who do you want to hang out with? Who do you want to hang out with? Anyone in history. And you chose your wife. Veteran Move by Bernie Perrant, the husband. Anyone in the hockey world? Anyone in history you want to hang out with?
Well,
maybe an old teammate?
I want to hang out with you. You know what?
If we had one more hour, you'd say the producer, Chris.
Yeah.
You'd say, Chris. Just anyone close to you. Anyone close to you.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
As if we didn't already love you, Bernie.
Oh, God, no. You guys are, you know what? You guys are beautiful. And for me to be here and sharing a few stories with you, it's incredible. But you know what the players need? The last thing here is very, very important. The support of the fans. Very, very important. And we have this in Philly, which is it's a beautiful thing to have.
When the Flyers are in the postseason, even the casuals, so to speak, know that it's a phenomenal. I've always said this: the two sports that are elevated the most in the postseason are baseball and hockey. Mm-hmm. That's where even the people that might just check in every once in a while during the 82-game season or 162-game season, they know, the postseason? Now, you might say it's fair weather. You might say it's bandwagon. Now, here's the deal. I don't believe in that because they're still Flyers fans.
Yep.
Who's your favorite hockey team? They're still going to say the Flyers.
Bingo.
Yep. Who's your favorite baseball? They're still going to say the Phils. But for me, there's no sports that are elevated like football, or excuse me, like baseball and hockey when it comes to the postseason.
Yeah.
And that's what I know this city is starving for.
Well, you know what? Listen, 4 out of 7, and it's either you win or you go home. You know, and the excitement you get as an individual and the excitement you get as a team, the excitement you get from the crowd, you know, from the coaching staff and management and the whole thing, guess what? This is a good time, man. A great time.
This is great. Bernie, such a pleasure to hang out with you tonight. I wish you the happiest of Thanksgivings. And I'll say a prayer for the turkey.
Yeah, please.
And I know, even though I know you'll be gnawing down on that leg.
You know what? Just say the prayer after you take the first bite.
the prayer, the saying grace, and then the apology, the penance. I'll give the penance.
There you go.
You know him, you love him, the great Bernie Perrant, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marc Farzetta. It's been an absolute blast. My thanks to Steve Lawler back in the studio for producing this, and also Chris Ermer here, Chickies and Pete's South Philadelphia, or Chickies and Pete's Northeast Philadelphia here. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate Bernie, Jenny, everybody that came out to hang out with us.
And we go, folks.
There we go. Let's go Flyers. Hopefully they pick up the win tonight against the Nashville Predators. Puck drop 8 o'clock. WBCB 1490. Appreciate you guys having me be along for the ride. Paul Jollis will be back with you guys next week. See you guys then. Bye.
Great show.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.